words of my mouth and the meditations of all our hearts be now and always acceptable in your sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. There once was a great flood. Don't worry, I'm not going to talk about Noah. There once was a great flood, during the course of which many people had to be evacuated because of rising water and the threat of drowning. As a rescue boat was passing by one house, the team spied a man in an upper bedroom window, the water having already reached almost to the sill. They told the man to get into the boat, but he refused their help, saying, "The Lord will save me and keep me." Reluctantly, the boat went on its way. A few hours later, a rowboat came along, and the rower, finding the man now standing on the sloping side of the roof, since the water had reached the eaves of the house, the rower told the man to step into the craft. But again, the man refused, saying, "The Lord will save me and keep me." The rowboat drew away reluctantly. A few more hours passed. The waters rose. Finally, a rescue helicopter flew over and hovered above the man as he was now standing on the apex of the roof and was chest high in water. The helicopter crew lowered a ladder to the man and urged him to climb it. Once again, the man shouted back above the noise of the rotor blades, "The Lord will save me and keep me." Being low on fuel, the helicopter had to give up its rescue attempt and flew back to base. The water, still rising, slowly engulfed the man, and he drowned. When he arrived in heaven, due to his great faith, he had an interview with God, and he demanded of God, "I have always had faith in you, and I believed in you. Why didn't you save me?" To which God replied, "I tried. I sent 2 boats and a helicopter." You've probably heard this story, which of course is fictional. But the question is important. What did the man expect to happen? Did he expect God to make the floods recede? Did he imagine that God would restore everything as it was and reverse what had happened? We need to be reminded of the collect for today, in which we are asking God to allow us to trust you with our whole hearts. But we also have to be mindful of God's resistance to those who trust in their own strength. The man in the story seems to have sought to impose his own will on the situation and suggesting that God should reverse the tragedy. And I'm not implying that God causes tragedy. I take my cue from Rabbi Harold Kushner, who in his little book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People, tells us that we are in the world in the forms of earthquakes, floods,